I stayed in the background, guiding them silently, and now they finally understand the gravity of my presence. They chased answers in every corner of the world, never realizing the key was quietly in my hands. I held their heart, but they didn't trust themselves, and now they finally see the one who never left. Every silent act of care, every unspoken word, now manifests as the truth they can no longer ignore. I was patient while they stumbled, and finally, the light I carried illuminates their understanding. They thought they were finding themselves alone, unaware I had been holding their hand all along. I was the quiet strength behind their every step, and now the weight of that truth finally lands. Every time they doubted, I was there silently, and now they see the hand that never faltered. I stayed when everyone else left, and now their eyes are open to the unwavering presence I offered. They searched for guidance everywhere, never noticing it had been quietly flowing from me all along. I carried them through storms, unseen, and now the realization strikes like lightning. My hand was always there. Every hidden act of love now reveals itself, undeniable truth in their sudden awareness. Then I was the compass they ignored, the anchor they doubted, and they thought they were alone. But the one who quietly held space for them all along now shines bright. I gave without asking, and now the awakening of their heart to my presence feels monumental. Every gesture, left unnoticed, now resonates in their heart as the key they've always sought. I was the quiet whisper they didn't hear, guiding them when life felt impossible, and now it echoes. They wandered in darkness. Unaware, I was the torch lighting their path all along. I held their burden silently, and now the truth I carried unfolds in the clarity of their gaze. They finally realized the depth of the unseen support offered, the quiet devotion they overlooked. I was the one who held the door while they hesitated, and now they finally stepped through it. Every silent moment of encouragement now blooms into the awakening they've longed for. They call it luck, timing, or fate, never knowing it was my quiet persistence shaping their path. I stayed steady while they faltered, and now the realization of my presence shakes them gently awake. I was the hidden foundation beneath their chaos, and finally, they see the stability I gave without complaint. Every unacknowledged effort, every quiet gesture now resonates as undeniable proof of my care. They finally see the hand that held them while they stumbled, the strength they didn't recognize. I carried their doubts, fears, and insecurities silently, and now the truth of my presence overwhelms them. I was the key they overlooked, the constant they ignored, and now they finally understand. Every quiet sacrifice now blooms in their heart as the undeniable force that shaped their life. They wandered endlessly, seeking answers, and now they finally recognize the one who held them all along. I was the calm in their storm, the unseen anchor, and now their eyes finally open to the truth. Every silent act of patience now lands in their heart like sunlight breaking through clouds. I stayed when it was easier to leave, and now the weight of that steadfastness finally reaches them. They finally awaken to the truth. I was the one who carried them when no one else could. Every unspoken word, every hidden gesture now resonates as the revelation of my unwavering presence. I guided them through the chaos they didn't see, and now finally noticed the hand that never faltered. They called it coincidence, unaware that my quiet guidance was the force shaping their destiny. I held their heart tenderly while they searched elsewhere, and now the awakening of their understanding lands. Moment I stayed silent, every unseen act now shines in the clarity of their newfound awareness. I was the quiet pulse of support while they faltered, and now they finally feel the strength I offered. They stumbled in darkness, never knowing I had already carried them toward the light they now see. I was the hidden compass, the quiet anchor, and now the weight of my presence finally resonates. Every act of unseen patience now manifests as the awakening they cannot unsee. I gave guidance quietly, and now the truth of my presence echoes in their heart. like a revelation. They finally recommended the bridge I built, the key I held gently, and the love they ignored. I carried them when life was heavy, and now they finally see the hands that never let go. Every quiet sacrifice, every tender gesture now blooms in the acknowledgement they never gave before. I was the unseen strength behind the every step, and now the clarity of that truth shakes them. Awake. They searched for answers outside themselves, never noticing I had been holding the missing key all along. They wandered through storms, never noticing the umbrella I held over them. Until now, when the clouds part, every quiet act of support, every unnoticed gesture now shines in a truth they finally recognize. I was the shelter they ignored, the guiding star they couldn't see, until the night revealed me. They called it coincidence, when life turned in their favor, never realizing my hand was steady all along. The key to their freedom was in my heart while they searched every corner of the world. I was the voice they ignored in the crowd, and now that voice echoes loudly in their awareness. They stumbled through confusion, never knowing the map was already drawn by my patience and care. Every invisible sacrifice, every silent encouragement, now blooms in the understanding they finally grasp. I held their dreams gently, even when they doubted, and now they see I was the foundation. They spent us all along. I was the constant while they wavered, the unseen support that only now they can acknowledge. Every kind word, every moment of strength I offered silently, now glimmers in their sudden clarity. They believed they were alone, unaware I had been their anchor through every shifting tide. I never demanded recognition, but seeing them finally understand my presence is quietly triumphant. They call it fate, but I know the key to their heart and growth was me all along. I give guidance without asking for credit, and now their eyes open to the truth I carried. They finally understand the bridge I built while they doubted, the doorway I left open for them. Every night I held space for them, unseen, and now that space closed in their realization. I was the calm in their chaos, the hidden strength they failed to notice until the moment of clarity. They wandered aimlessly, while I quietly held the map, and now they see where the path truly led. I was the hand they never took, the quiet light in shadows, and now they finally reach for it. Every act of patience, every silent gesture of care, now lands like a revelation in their heart. They search for answers elsewhere, only to discover I held them from the very start. I was the quiet heartbeat, guiding them, unnoticed until life demanded. They finally see, they called it luck, timing, or chance, never realizing the steady force of my care shaped their world. I held their fears, their doubts, their burns, and now they see the hand that never wavered. Every quiet effort, every gesture left unrecognized, now resonates as undeniable truth. I was the key they overlooked, the hand they ignored, and now they finally understand my value. Their eyes are open now, and they feel the weight of the love and guidance I always offered. I carried them when they couldn't stand, and now they finally stand. And now, a beacon of patience, love, and unwavering support. They wandered blindly, searching for what they already held in me, unseen until this moment. I held the door open while they doubted. The way forward always clear to me, now to them. They finally noticed the quiet strength that carried them through storms, the foundation they ignored. I was their hidden compass, guiding them through chaos, while they struggled to see the path. Every unacknowledged effort, every silent encouragement now manifests in their realization of my presence. They spent years lost, unaware I was the anchor they needed, holding them steady all along. I never demanded recognition, yet their awakening to my care feels like a long-awaited justice. I held their growth tenderly, and now they finally see that I was always the key. They wandered searching for someone to save them. Not knowing the Savior stood quiet, and the other day the Savior stood quiet, and the other day quiet. Finally recognized my presence. Every act of unseen patience now resonates in their heart as undeniable truth. The key to doors they couldn't open themselves. I held them when they were falling, and now the realization lands like sunlight breaking through clouds. I gave guidance without expectation, and now their understanding feels like a quiet triumph. They finally awakened to the truth. They were never lost. I was the map they ignored. I carried their fears while they searched for solutions, and now they finally noticed the weight I bore. Every gesture of care, every act of patience, now reveals the quiet force I always was. They finally understand that the key to their heart, their growth, their awakening was in me all along. I stood steadfast while they faltered, the unseen guide, who only now becomes visible in their eyes. I held the missing piece they sought elsewhere, and now they finally see it in my hand. Every quiet act of support now blooms into acknowledgement, recognition, and undeniable truth.